sweeties, how are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim, and thank you all so much for all the love and support you shower me here with. So today we'll be talking something very important, and it's about a video that is circulating online about a palm-colored woman asking black people, if you do not vote, and she was asking, if you do not vote for Biden, so what is your next plan? And I am saying that there is no next plan. We are just going to wake up and vote. Black people are going to wake up and vote whom they think can be of good help to them. We must not vote for Joe Biden and Trump, because it looks like each time I open my TikTok, everybody is out there. Especially the palm-colored people who probably were paid to come out here to campaign and tell us that if you do not vote for Joe Biden, your life is gonna be hard if Trump wins. They are talking like life has really been easy for black people, or black people have had it easier and all that. And it's just like rich white man telling poor white man that their problem is black people. And that she is not just only talking about black people, people of color, and also trying as much as they can to convince themselves to go and vote for the same days. The same person that is plucking up their eyes and all that. You all should leave us alone and let us make our plans in peace and vote for whoever we want to vote. And stop coming up here to fearmonger people and tell people you must vote for Biden. You all should stop all that. Let's get into this video.
So it seems as though the "I'm not voting for Biden no matter what" crowd doesn't actually have a backup plan themselves. I've been getting a lot of, "Well, what's your plan?" And if you're gonna get pissed off at this video and want to make a response to it or comment on it, maybe watch the whole thing this time. And a hit dog will holler, because if it's not about you, it's not about you. Some of you made comments and videos on things I actually addressed in the first video. Yeah, you're like, I don't have to watch your whole video. Yeah, you don't have to comment on it either. What's being revealed to me is that you don't actually give a fuck. I made a video talking about what the possible plan could be, laying out how we could start trying to organize around challenging the DNC in every single state, because the DNC is such a major barrier, and how we could possibly organize around Cenk. I don't care who it is. It could be Cenk Uygur, it could be Claudia de la Cruz, it could be Marianne Williamson, but we would need to pick someone, and soon, because the election is in less than a year and the primaries start in March, to organize around if we wanted Biden to step down, or organize around demanding that he step down. So I make a video laying out some of those options and ideas, and wouldn't you know it, the same people that were like, "What's your plan? I'm not voting for Biden," came right back into my fucking comments to be like, "I don't like Cenk. Cenk isn't a real leftist. He just yells all the time." I think I heard him yell Allah Akbar one time. But the amount of tone policing that exists on the left is fucking embarrassing, okay? Oh, we're not like the Republicans. We're also not like the shit libs, okay? We're different. Are you? By the mere fact that I even brought up Cenk as an option, your Islamophobia came right the fuck out. You're all, "Oh no, he's really Muslim. Aggressive. I guess I shouldn't be surprised by that, because you guys were the same ones who came on my page last time and were you're aggressive. I don't like your tone." Lots of tone policing and lots of misgendering, which brings me to the second part. Some of you are really having the goddamn nerve to say, "You can't suggest Cenk because he's transphobic." Oh no, you did not just say that. The same people that went triple-decker deluxe ham on me, you stitch my video misgendering me and calling me she, her over and over again, saying that it didn't matter that I was a woman and a bitch and should shut up, telling me that I was ugly and that I didn't pass and that being non-binary doesn't exist. This is coming from the allies, and you really think you're gonna come to me now and say that you don't want to consider Cenk because you're concerned about transphobia? Get the fuck out of here. You people are also the same people that complain all the time about we don't have strength on the Democratic side. We don't have any strong progressive. And then Cenk, so progressive and passionate on Palestine and on the people of Gaza. And you guys turn around, the same people who said you don't want to vote for Biden because of the Gaza genocide, and go, "I really don't like how Cenk yells. It's really aggressive. I don't like when brown men yell that loud." Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said you didn't want to vote for Biden because you cared about Gaza. Cenk has been a relentless advocate for the people of Gaza. But you don't want to vote for him. You don't even want to consider him. Not because he's Muslim, of course, but because he yells and he's aggressive on behalf of the people of Gaza. The people you're claiming to care so much about, you don't want to vote for Biden. Oh, right. It's because he's transphobic, because you care so much about the trans community. That's why you keep coming to my comments misgendering me and sending hate my way. And you know what? I got my period today and I'm having terrible cramps, and my period that time of the month makes me the most dysphoric. At no time am I ever more dysphoric than when I get my period every month. So you know what? I'm not in the fucking mood. I'm not in the mood for your fake fucking allyship, okay? The amount of rage that goes through my body every single month when these cramps start, I don't have any more bandwidth right now for you fake fucking white progressives that act like you're so moral and that you just can't vote for Biden because you got standards, but you can't vote for Cenk because name list of bullshit that you want to come up with because you don't want to do anything. You don't. You just want to get online and you want to sit and you want to pretend like you're better than people and you want to go, oh, I'm not voting for Biden no matter what because genocide is a line for me. Oh, is it though? Is it? Not enough of a line for you to consider voting for someone you think is rude though. And let me specify who this is for. This is for white leftists. White leftists, people who lean left, communists, socialists. You guys are the ones that have messaged me the most, that have come into my DMs the most. I've also got a lot of attacks and DMs by people who don't have profile pictures at all. I've said before, and I'll say again, that I understand why people of color, black people, Arab voters are not happy with Biden and don't want to vote for him. I also know that there are black people and people of color that are not in support of a primary and do support Biden. But regardless of what side they fall on, from what I've seen, there is a plan, either a plan to vote for Biden or a plan to organize around Claudia de la Cruz or something. Oh, you white tankies, leftists, just come in and just say what you're not gonna do. I need you to explain to me why you oppose the one Muslim who is trying to run and raise the voices of Palestinians. No. You guys are so full of shit. If you were any more full of shit, your eyes would look like mine, okay? The fucking pomposity of some of you people who came into my fucking DMs and made stitches and had so much to fucking say about Biden being your red line. And you don't give a shit if Biden loses and Trump wins and deports every single Muslim in this country and reintroduces the Muslim ban and takes away even more voting rights, and the list can go on and fucking on. No, you had to make sure that I knew that you made a whole ass fucking video about how you weren't gonna support genocide, no chance you're gonna support Kamala. Just to come back, and when I say, okay, I understand not wanting to vote for Biden. Like, I have felt that. I get that. So here's what I'm thinking we could do. Then you want to come back and go, no. I think you guys got so angry when I asked what your plan is. Well, I know now. I know. Your plan is attacking other people who've tried to come up with a plan. Your plan is to virtue signal. Your plan is to pretend to care about marginalized groups. This is pure narcissism. And no one wants to tell you that you guys are children and you're narcissists. I will vote for Biden if he is the nominee because I'm not fucking around with the Republicans. But do I want to try to give somebody else a shot? Yeah, I would love to give somebody else a shot. I don't want Biden to be the nominee. So I am trying to organize, and all you want to do is come to me and tell me, I don't like it. Then what are you doing? What is your plan? Is it just to be an accelerationist and hope that every single thing falls apart because your white ass isn't going to be affected by it? And somehow hope that the accelerationist model is going to just all of a sudden bring about socialism. Bring about the revolution that you're certainly not going to fucking fight. You can't even give him McDonald's for a week. But you're going to tear down the system. And by tear down the system, you mean you just enabled Trump and the Republicans to win because you couldn't move off your fucking screen. Right now, I am looking into organizing around Cenk because he is someone who is principled, who is progressive, and who is fighting fiercely, unequivocally, and unapologetically on behalf of rights of Palestinians right now. He's a relentless fighter on behalf of things the American people care about, and he's got a thick skin, which is something you will need. I haven't seen anybody say they won't send money to the military-industrial complex and over to Israel besides him. If you've got a better plan, share it. Otherwise, bye. But I'm gonna try. I am going to try. And I think that we should still try to organize against the DNC no matter who's the nominee. And yes, If I, as a white person who does care about democracy and marginalized groups, only have the choice of Biden, then I will be fucking voting for Biden. And maybe you should take a break from massaging your own feet and think about the damage that you're going to do to our democracy and you're going to do to marginalized groups if Trump gets back in office. Because you were too principled to vote for Joe Biden, and so principled that you had to shit on every other candidate who was attempting to run. Absolute clown shit, and no one wants to tell you what a fucking baby you are because they're so afraid of not coddling your feelings. We had an election a couple weeks ago in New York, and turnout was 7%. And I know that a lot of you that came in to yell at me about what we should and should not do are 100% not registered to vote. You've never voted. You don't vote in off-year elections. You don't vote at all. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm collecting data on all of the DNCs across the country. I'm sure you're really busy right now, probably making a stitch on my video. It's they, them, by the way, if you're gonna do that. Maybe use some of that extra time to actually do something fucking useful. So it seems as though the I'm not voting for Biden no matter what crowd.
Here's the part I don't get, and maybe you can explain this to me, Blakely. But the entire thing about not voting for Democrats, specifically Biden, started with MENA people, right? It started with Arab, Muslim, Palestinian people in the United States saying they cannot support a president that would commit genocide against their people or people who look exactly like them. Because there was recognition. They knew that Democrats do not give a fuck about anybody but their own polling numbers. They don't give a shit about human rights. They don't give a shit about humanity. They don't give a shit, but they give a shit about their polling numbers. They care about how they're perceived in their PR. That is the main thing that they have cared about. And so MENA Arab people leveraged their self-interest and said, I am not voting for you if you commit genocide against my people, if you fund this. The majority of people's thoughts of people exactly like you was, oh wait, no. Like, genocide happens all the time. But not voting for a Democrat, that's so unacceptable. Knowing full well that the main reason people were doing this was to leverage the party's image to save people's lives. And a majority of your thought processes were, what about me? What about America? What about the people here? And even the suggestion that you show some empathy, some compassion, some humanity towards this demographic of people is met with such fucking derision that you all will literally leap over it. Despite it being the most basic thing to access your goal of making sure a Democrat is in office. Like, you all point to 2016 and oh my God, Trump was in office 4 years. You point to that era of time, and one of the most paramount issues to the 2016 election was you all ignoring Black and brown people who were telling you what was what. And in this case, ignoring Palestinian, Arab, and Muslims in the United States. Like, I've seen you all demand multi-point plans and then not even bother be empathetic to people. You all think white supremacy only exists under a Republican banner? Like, the greatest demand of you being made in this moment is being empathetic to brown people. And you can't even do that. Even if you were thinking of it only through a selfish, self-serving lens, that would make the most sense. And you can't or won't do it. White supremacy was always going to crumble the Democratic Party first, because it pretends to be able to stand up against it. And yet when push comes to shove, we get people like you, for whom empathy for anybody that does not pass a paper bag test seems to be impossible. What's the strategy? Start with the empathy first, if you can. I know it's really difficult.
Ridiculously simple. The people who won't vote for Biden, their plan is to continue living their lives, much the same way as they always have when you couldn't have cared any less. While you couldn't have cared any less about the support and the assistance they needed, they learned how to live their lives on the margin. And now you have the audacity to ask them to do your planning for you just because you recently became afraid that their oppression might touch you. And as a matter of fact, for generations, many of them have been imploring us to pay attention to how they plan, to how they survive, and to how they live, just in case we ever found ourselves in their situation. What a lot of you are missing is, for people like me who have not yet made the decision whether or not to vote for Biden, your plan is vote for Biden and what? The plan is vote for Biden and what? Because voting for Biden is not a solution. If you are somebody who is fortunate enough that voting for Biden is a solution for you, then please recognize that you don't have the knowledge, range, or nuance to begin understanding why voting for Biden is not a solution for a lot of us. If you want us to vote for Biden, you're the one who needs to bring something to the table.
Some of you were still clipping my video from a few weeks ago that I made about Joe Biden being like, actually, it doesn't matter because Genocide Joe is blah, 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 blah. I'm going to tell you what's making me insane, okay? White leftists specifically that have been clipping my video and being all, can't get any worse. You think it's bad now? I'm not scared of Project 2025. Shit's already bad. Hi, were you born yesterday? Well, they already overturned Roe v. Wade under Biden. Yeah, and who appointed the justices? I'm specifically talking right now to white leftists who came into my comments to misgender me even though you're leftist. I don't know why I need to remind you of this. And like I said in other videos, I expect it from right-wingers. But if you're on the left and you think it's okay to misgender me, you are transphobic trash and you are not an ally. You were mad that I said that you don't have a plan. You're just coming on here on your platform and telling people not to vote for Biden. It's incredible how many of you said, I don't want to vote for Biden because he's Genocide Joe, but I'm going to vote for RFK. And let me tell you why I'm specifying white leftists. I have said many times, even though a lot of people took my video out of context and didn't watch my previous videos about it, that I understand why a lot of black people and people of color do not want to vote for Joe Biden. Specifically black people, specifically Arab people, or Democrats in general, because that's what they always do. They come and they make promises and then they just fearmonger and say, if you don't vote for us, we're not going to give you anything, but just vote for us or else. And it puts voters in a constant situation where they never get to ask for anything or demand anything of their leaders because they're basically being bullied into voting for them with no promise or no commitment to ever address any of their specific issues. And I'm not even saying that there aren't white voters that don't fall into that category too. There are. I want to specifically hone in on this, on the white voters that are leftist, because people are like, why aren't you talking to white Republicans and white people who vote for Republicans? Because they don't fucking listen to me. I mean, you're not listening to me either, but my point is I can at least talk to people on the left. Right-wingers are like, they've already left the building. They have already left lunch. When I try to talk to white independent voters that lean right or white Republicans, they just turn around and they misgender me and they tell me that I'm a self-hating white person. And they live in a delusional non-reality where they think that Trump is still the president. So yeah, trying to talk to them is a fucking waste of time. But white voters that lean independent or consider themselves leftists or communists or socialists or whatever, I'm having a lot less sympathy for you because first of all, some of you don't even fucking vote. Some of you get on here and you encourage people not to vote or to sit home and you run your fucking mouth about how it doesn't matter because things can't get any worse. And like straight up, you're not even registered to vote. And this is borne out in the numbers. So like a lot of the people that are like younger, like even some people in their 30s and 40s who are screaming about how they're not going to vote for Joe Biden. Some of you don't even fucking vote. Most black voters do vote. They vote and they vote Democrat and they have loyally voted Democrat for decades. So when they get angry and they're like, okay, this is kind of bullshit, I don't want to vote for Biden, I'm like, okay, that's understandable because they are specifically impacted by a lot of this shit and also they've been loyal voters. But you guys are all, I'm not voting for Biden and I actually really haven't voted at all and I don't show up to midterms and I don't vote in my local election, but I'm going to get on my platform and I'm going to tell people that they shouldn't vote for Joe Biden because he's Genocide Joe, as if voting for RFK is going to make shit any better. RFK is terrible on Israel. And it really gets under my skin when I see like white leftists be like, it can't get any worse. First of all, it can get worse. It always gets worse. And if you fucking think that Joe Biden is senile as he is and as shitty as he is, and I think that he's being so selfish by running again. He's fucking old, he's on death's door, and he said he was only gonna run for one term. So yeah, he's incredibly selfish and narcissistic for even running again. He should step down and let there be a primary. But with that being said, if he is the nominee, and I would love to think that he's not, but I don't really see any big organizing trying to challenge that or change that. So if he is the nominee, then those are going to be our choices. I understand that our choices suck. Our system is corrupt. The two-party system is trash. But you can't just all of a sudden get upset about that right around the time of election. If you want that to change, you've got to organize before. Organize around things like ranked choice voting, trying to challenge the system, get independents on the ballot, allow them to get electoral college votes. You don't just not fucking do anything for years and then turn around and go, I'm not voting for him. And maybe things won't get worse for you. If you're white, you're younger, you're a leftist, you live in some like fucking nice fucking apartment somewhere that your parents are paying for in downtown Boston or wherever the fuck, and you have the luxury and the privilege to sit around on TikTok talking about how you've got standards to uphold and you're not going to vote for Joe Biden, but then you don't really want to have the conversation of what happens if he doesn't win? What happens if Trump wins? What happens if in the chance RFK won? You think it's going to be any better? Tell me how it's going to be better for people of color, for black people, for trans people, and for women and people who can get pregnant. Because I again remind you that it was Donald Trump's Supreme Court picks that put into motion the overturning of Roe v. Wade. I remind you that despite all the ways that Joe Biden has been trashed, Donald Trump's Labor Relations Board was medieval. So unless your position is, I'm just going to go into accelerationism mode and I'm just going to let it all fall apart because out of that's going to come socialism, then you're just being unserious. And you're just doing it for clout because some of you just love to go into self-story circles where you talk about how pure you are. And some of you have the memory of a goldfish and you forget that Trump got in office in 2016 and made shit really, really bad. And you really don't even have an excuse this time because in 2016, I understand it because Trump had never been in office before. So even though he was telling us who he was, there were a lot of people that didn't really pay attention to politics that were just like, oh, whatever, we should challenge the system. Now we have had 4 years. Now we have had an attempted coup. He has made very clear that if he gets into office, he's not leaving. Some of you want to be all contrarian and you want to be all doomer, and no one wants to tell you that you're fucking children because everybody has to be like, I validate your feelings. I know you feel this way. And here's the thing, you can do both. I can validate your feelings and say, I understand that you don't like him and that the Democratic Party is trash. And I can also say, how about be a fucking adult because it can get a lot worse. Every single year, this country has been moving closer and closer to fascism. And the Republicans take voting fucking seriously. They don't just get online and whine. Now, I know that they're also all drones and they're in a cult, so that's part of it. But they also care about winning, and so should we. And if you're a white, younger white person in general that's on the left, then I don't need you trying to hide behind people of color as a shield for your self-centeredness. Because you're gonna be okay. You're gonna be all right. A lot of you only have jobs as like extracurricular activities, okay? I used to live in Boston. I fucking met people like you. And obviously, I'm not saying that this is every white leftist or every white person that votes in primaries or whatever, but doesn't matter because most of you are going to fucking not even reach this point of the video. And even if you did, you're going to take what I say out of context anyway. Because it's a lot more important to some of you to appear virtuous and to appear as an ally than to actually fucking be one.
It's as simple as ABC. If you are going to vote for Biden, you have to bring something on the table. Number one is that these people really know what they are doing. They are playing mind games. They think that black people are still ready for their mind games. Not at all. She is asking, if you are not voting for Biden, so what is your next plan? Who cares? I mean, you all have been out there screaming vote for Biden. If not, I mean, you all are going to experience Trump. Everybody's going to experience it. Not just only black people or, you know, if black people are experiencing it, you all are also experiencing it. What is left for us anymore? Again, I mean, you all have taken so much from us. The affirmative action, you already struck that out. And you all still got the nerves to ask us if we are not voting for Biden, who are we voting for? What is the plan? Do we need to tell you our plan? The plan is to go out there and look for someone that is reasonable, that we can vote, black people can vote for, and someone that will also support reparations. She knew what she was doing is wrong because she mentioned that she understood that if some black people or other people of color do not want to vote for Biden, that it is a little bit considerate because they have voted for him and he doesn't do anything for them. They knew. So the white people she is calling up for to go and vote for Biden are those ones going to, it's just like this thing they keep saying, rich white man telling poor white man that their problem is black people. So now they are trying to not just only convince black people to vote for Joe Biden the next coming election, they are also trying to convince the poor white people also to vote for Biden, because Biden is better for them. That if they do not vote for Biden and Trump wins, that it's going to be tough for them, like it's been tough for, it's like it's been easy for us. I mean, this time around, everybody is going to suffer it together, not just only black people or other people of color. And I am not really like into people of color and all that. All I speak for is, I try as much as I can to speak for black people. And but I believe that if something touches eyes, it's also going to affect nose. So if it is affecting black people, it is also affecting everybody. So I am saying that all these fearmongers they've been coming up with, like everywhere you look around, you see them talking about, like, really, who made you guys judges? Or how much did you guys collect to come out here to try to convince people to vote for Joe Biden? How much did you guys collect? Let us know. Let me understand, because I don't understand how I open my, TikTok every day, and all I am saying is you all coming out here to tell us that if we do not vote for Joe Biden, that we are going to suffer it. Has it been good for us all these years? Has it even been anything better for black people all these years? See you all in my next video. Bye for now.